Two, this is Sacred Forest and their destruction, and you're looking at a private piece of land there up in eastern Washington that has been totally logged and mined and devastated by Hancock Lumber, a green certified timber company. So you can see what green certified means. This is on a watershed, and the alternative building products that people are going to have to get off their lazy asses and start using. And the majority of Americans, in my opinion, are just non-caring, avarice-eating consumers. It's a good name for them. And they just, you know, build me a wood house, I don't care. You know, they want to be mindless. They don't want to have to think about anything. They have children. God knows why they have children, because they certainly don't care about their future. So those kind of people aren't even going to watch this program. But there are those of you out there that are intelligent, that love the forest, love nature, and are willing to go through the trouble to investigate and learn and go through the trouble to build with alternative products. And you're the ones that I'm targeting. So having said that, I hope that you'll contact Hancock Lumber Company and let them know that you watched this video. I took that last summer, and it's above Waits Lake. And a private seller sold his forest to this company for money, and this is the result. So let's go on again to some alternative building products. I want to thank you so much for watching. You're the heart and soul of America.
Walls can provide light and beauty in your home. They can be a really stunning feature. The idea of building from beer bottles or wine bottles is not a new idea. In the early part of the last century, a guy called Tom Cannon built an entire house out of beer bottles that he'd taken from the bars in the gold rush town of Rhyline. And even Heineken got in on it. In the 1960s, Alfred Heineken saw the potential for a waste material, particularly in the majority world, being available as a building block for people's homes. So he redesigned the round Heineken bottle into a square bottle, which he called the WOBO, the World Bottle. And the idea was, you know, advanced, and then it was killed off by the PR department, who probably feared the association of the brand with poverty and waste. But it was taken up big time by earthship designers in the 70s and on from there. And we took the idea in the Brittany Groundhouse of using blue and white bottles for a bathroom wall, and it's stunning. And what I'm going to try and do now, what we're going to try and do here is show you how to do this. So we're going to make bottle bricks. First thing we're going to do is get hold of some nice bottles. Green and brown and clear bottles are relatively easy to get hold of and get them anywhere. The real tip would be to get hold of some blue bottles, which are really beautiful. And the tips on that would be to look for sapphire gin and tea knot bottles. To make one bottle brick, you need two bottles. You take two bottles of the same size. You measure up the side of the bottle. You decide how thick the wall's going to be, and therefore how thick your bottle brick's going to be. You cut two bottles using a tile cutter, then you take the two cut ends of the bottle and place them together and tape them with gaffer tape, and then you've got your bottle brick. The best tool we found for making bottle bricks, for cutting them, is actually a ceramic tile cutter. What you do is you rotate the bottle around the blade of the tile cutter, and then it just breaks away. You take the two parts, take them together, bottle brick. Once you've actually made the bottle bricks, what you then need to do is just work out where they're going. It's good to design the wall beforehand so you know where the colours are going. So you start off with a base of old salvage bricks or breeze block. You puddle it with mortar. We used Adobe in this case, a kind of mud mix. We were trying to use as little cement as possible. And then you lay your first course of bottles to your design. You fill in between the gaps. You lay your second course of mortar. And again, just keep building up. And what you want to keep doing is using a spirit level, not to level along the wall, but across it. This drawing just shows how you can use a board of insulation, drill holes and slide the raw bricks in, and then you can plaster between the bricks to finish off in the same way that you would for the internal wall. You would use a sponge we used a sponge to get the final line finish on this beautiful bottle wall.
God, there's some beautiful people in this world, and look what they're creating out of your wasted plastic bottles. Come on, America. It's time to wake up and stop being that people that just consume and deny. Your number one reason our forests are coming down. And you're the number one reason why we can keep them up. You're looking at a plastic bottle house, all built with plastic bottles and a minimum use of wood. There's no excuse not to. You're looking at homes built with bottles, both plastic and glass. If it's not legal in your area, get your planning commission to make it legal. Come on, America, get to work. Load-bearing walls, too. Bottle houses. You can do it. Just go to YouTube and start building. Termites don't like glass. Look at that. Look at that. Your house could look like that. Instead of a drab little wooden house that burns down. Look at the alternatives that are out there that you're not using. Just going to Home Depot and buying that wood, and let's get creative, America, before it's too late. And lastly, I want to tell you one of the most important reasons why it's so important to save our forest. Not only do they protect us from global warming, of which Hurricane Sandy and Hurricane Katrina should be lessons enough, and the droughts and the hotter summers, all these warning signs from Mother Nature. Must be heeded. The last part of this program is going to show you a bit of the privileged planet. And it's a group of scientists, astrophysicists who study why our planet is so very special and unique in its life-bearing qualities. And what it requires is the capability of Mother Earth to regenerate her atmosphere. And to regenerate her atmosphere requires forests. It requires the ability to make oxygen, to retain water. Without this capability, our Earth becomes Mars.
The atmosphere as we go in here. Just reporting that we are seeing G's on the order of 11 to 12 Earth. We're at 9 kilometers in each second.
Valid range. Net filter converted with a velocity correction of 0.7 meters a second.
We have a fire on the ground with the radar.
An altitude of 8 kilometers.
Digital has separated. We're found the ground command tones due to standing by for backshell separation. We are in powered flight. Sky crane has started.
Signal to us, you remain strong.
The Mars rover, Curiosity, is the latest in a long line of missions to Mars.
Touchdown confirmed. We're safe on Mars.
Landers sent to scoop its soil and study its rocks. Orbiters sent to map its valleys and ridges. They are all asking the same question. Did liquid water once flow on this dry and dusty world? Did it support life in any form? And are there remnants left to find? The science that comes out of these missions may help answer a much larger, more philosophical question. Is our planet Earth the norm in a galaxy run through with life-bearing planets? Or is Earth a rare gem with a unique makeup and history that allowed it to give rise to living things? On Mars, Curiosity has spotted pebbles and other rocks commonly associated with flowing water. It found them downstream on what appears to be an ancient river fan, where water flowed down into Gale Crater. This shows that at some point in the past, Mars had an atmosphere, cloudy skies, and liquid water flowing. So what could have turned it into the desolate world we know today? One process that very likely played a role goes by the unscientific name sputtering. Like the other planets in our solar system, Mars is lashed by high-energy photons from the Sun. When one of these photons enters the atmosphere of a planet, it can crash into a molecule, knocking loose an electron and turning it into an ion. The solar wind brings something else. A giant magnetic field. When part of the field grazes the planet, it can attract ions and launch them out into space. Another part might fling ions right into the atmosphere at up to 1,000 kilometers per second. The ions crash into other molecules, sending them in all directions like balls in a game of pool. Over billions of years, this process could have literally stripped Mars of its atmosphere. Especially in the early life of the solar system, when the solar wind was more intense than it is today. Sputtering has actually been spotted directly on another dead planet, Venus. The Venus Express mission found that solar winds are steadily stripping off lighter molecules of hydrogen and oxygen. They escape the planet on the night side, then ride solar breezes on out into space. This process has left Venus with an atmosphere dominated by carbon dioxide gas, a heat-trapping compound that has helped send surface temperatures up to around 400 degrees Celsius. The loss of Venus's atmosphere likely took place over millions of years, especially during solar outbursts known as coronal mass ejections. If these massive blast waves stripped Venus and Mars of an atmosphere capable of supporting life, how did Earth avoid the same grim fate? We can see the answer as the solar storm approaches Earth. Our planet has what Mars and Venus lack, a powerful magnetic field generated deep within its core. This protective shield deflects many of the high-energy particles launched by the Sun. In fact, that's just our first line of defense. Much of the solar energy that gets through is reflected back into space by clouds, ice, and snow. The energy that Earth absorbs is just enough to power a remarkable planetary engine, the climate. It's set in motion by the unevenness of solar heating, due in part to the cycles of day and night and the seasons. That causes warm tropical winds to blow toward the poles and cold polar air toward the equator. Wind currents drive surface ocean currents. This computer simulation shows the Gulf Stream winding its way along the coast of North America. This great ocean river carries enough heat energy to power the industrial world 100 times over. It breaks down in massive whirlpools that spread warm tropical waters over northern seas. Below the surface, they mix with cold, deep currents that swirl around undersea ledges and mountains. Earth's climate engine has countless moving parts, tides and terrain, crosswinds and currents, all working to equalize temperatures around the globe. Over time, Earth developed a carbon cycle and an effective means of regulating greenhouse gases. In our galaxy, are stillborn worlds like Mars the norm? Or in Earth, has nature crafted a prototype for its greatest experiment? Life.
So, it's all dependent on our atmosphere, on Earth's ability to continue the cycles that sustain itself from the sun's bombardment. And when we cut down the forest, when we pollute the seas that create oxygen, we cut down Earth's ability to sustain itself in its atmosphere. Indeed, human beings are the cause of global climate change. And it is up to us to take that responsibility instead of shun it and deny it like Donald Trump and his oil men in the EPA will do. It's up to us now, folks. No one's going to do it for us. Not God, not planet Earth. Just you and I. Thanks for watching.